We are live. Gonna give it a second. Starting a little early today. Corey ended early, so figured I'd go early. Pound sassy. Yep. That's what it is today, I guess. Hope you're all doing well. I'm gonna give a minute or two for people to show up while we're waiting. You could share this out if you want. And I do want to talk about something that's pretty cool before we start on the topic. Yep. Sassy. I wish there was a member pack where you could get both Bob and Corey. Me too. That'd be pretty cool. So what I want to talk about real quick, it's not fish related, but it is animal related, which is pretty cool. I might throw this on the screen for you guys, because this is pretty awesome. Let's go over to here. And here we go. Here I am. And we got audio. So this chameleon right here was lost for 106 years. Pretty crazy. They just rediscovered it in Madagascar. And basically what happened is this team of scientists, pretty much all they do is go around the world looking for species to rediscover. And they were at Madagascar for a couple weeks. They only had a couple more days to go before they packed it up and got out of there. And they happened to be sitting in like the hotel, like outside area, and saw this guy in the hotel garden of all places. So yeah, pretty crazy. So the garden that they found it in doesn't get maintained or anything, right? It's just stuff just grows there. And so they're just sitting there, and they happen to look over and see one of these guys. And they found it, I believe they found close to, what does it say, 15 of them? Yeah, more than 15 were found. And yeah, they haven't been seen since 1913. And what's really crazy about this species is that it only has like a 5-month lifespan, which is really crazy. So they breed, they hatch out, breed again, and die every winter. So they're only around in the winter, which makes it even harder to find them. But that's pretty crazy. So they breed towards the end, and then, that's like like 8 months for the eggs to hatch out. Pretty crazy, though. I thought it was pretty awesome. Yeah. So there you go. Never give up. Yeah, you don't want one. It would probably cost about $10,000 to have one, and it's only going to live for 5 months. So I thought that was pretty cool, pretty neat. Never know what you're going to find, or where you're going to find it for that matter. I'd love to go to Madagascar one day. It's on my bucket list places to go, since we're talking about a bucket list fish. Was not expecting a stream so early. Yep. I've been saying it for the last couple weeks, and finally decided to actually do it and go early. So, excuse me, I'm going to close this out real quick. And we're going to talk about bucket list fish. Now, I want to know what your bucket list fish is, but I'm going to tell you one of mine. Of course, I've been saying this for years, so it's no surprise to the people that have been around forever, and that's the Benthochroma stricati. But in addition, there's a pleco that I've always wanted that's actually fairly common, but I don't know that I would ever be able to actually keep it. And first we can look at the Benthochroma stricati. And apparently it's not a Benthochroma anymore, but I actually think we looked at this fish last week, but I'm going to show it again because it is one of them. So yeah, this is one of them. And then the other fish I want is the Adonis pleco. If you've never seen one of these, a pleco. So this is the largest species of pleco in the world, I believe. If it gets around, without the lyre tail, it gets around 4 feet long. Plus the lyre tail. I mean, the lyre tails get huge on these guys. But let's see if we can find a picture of an adult. Here's a picture of an adult right here. So just a massive pleco. And I don't know that I would ever have an aquarium that could house one of those. I mean, you would need a pool. But they look, the problem with this fish is that they look really cool when they're young, like the white polka dots, the lyre tail, but they lose that when they get older, and then they're just a massive fish. Andrew, welcome to the Steenfott Shoal. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lots of cool videos. We're gonna have a cool. This is not a members video, but a new camping overlanding video coming soon on my other channel. So that's pretty cool. I don't know why that reminded me of it, but I just wanted to, you know, shout out the other channel there. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Trish says it will eat me. I'm 4'11". Nice, nice. Let's see. What do we got here? They're also nocturnal, aren't they, Bob? Oh, if you're talking about the chameleon, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're nocturnal. pretty incredible find. Gold nugget pleco. Yeah, that's a really cool one. And there's what, like 4 different species of gold nugget plecos. Love the puffer fish on your hat. Yep. I saw Bentley's Frederick guy. Also, thanks. Now I have a new algae eater, Royal Farlowella. Yes, in case you missed last Sunday's video, there are so many species to choose from. Just keep it at top 5. But yeah, we talked about the Royal Farlowella, which I think is like just one of the coolest fish ever that nobody really keeps. So hopefully that's a new discovery for some people and they'll want it. It's a pretty large fish, but not too bad, you know, about 10, 11 inches. That guy 245 says, my dream bucket list fish is a kissing gourami. Those would be pretty cool. Another one that I don't know that I'd ever have room for. Of course, it says the guy with the Mabu pleco, but I have a dwarf Mabu pleco, apparently. Gonna check it out. Sweet. I've always wanted a true parrot cichlid, but I've never been allowed to have a tank bigger than 20 gallon. But one day. Also, Tropheus bemba. Let's take a look at that one. Tropheus are really cool fish. I think a lot of people are scared of Tropheus, and they shouldn't be. Not scared, but maybe intimidated by things that they read on the internet. So this looks like an Icola, except orange instead of yellow. But Tropheus, very, very cool fish, and I hope to have a Tropheus tank someday. You need an L95 orange cheek pleco. You know, I ordered one of those pleco guy, and it came in deceased. So, yeah, that was pretty disappointing. Veranid guy, what's up, buddy? Says, I've wanted a Royal Farlowella for a while, but didn't realize how big they are. I mean, they're not too big, and they're not the most active fish either. So they're like the twig catfish, just the regular Farlowella, and where they're not overly active, but they do. I would say they're definitely more active than just the regular Farlowella. Dragonlair says, Bob, watch the OCA online meeting Friday night, and the speaker they had on keeps that feather fin you want. I see them pop up every once in a while, but they're usually around $200 a piece, which means that's not going to happen anytime soon. Not even remotely anytime soon. I want to try Shell Dwellers next, or something from the CARES list. There's a lot of species on the CARES list that you'd be surprised that are on there. Like the Bosemani rainbow fish. Those things are everywhere. But they're on the... I mean, they were at one point. To be honest, I haven't really kept up with CARES for the last couple of years. So I don't know if things changed. Tractor Doctor TV says pea puffers. That's a pretty cool one. It's nice when your bucket list fish is obtainable. That's always a plus. The Royal Farlowella in person looks like a fake fish. So unreal looking. They're so cool. It's been a while since I've had any though. Been a minute. White Cloud Dynasty, hello. Okay, Peeps Lost Sheep says Stiphodon annier, something like that. Let's take a look at this one, see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. This is a pretty neat fish, this one right here. So many goby species would make the list. It's ridiculous. Look at this one. You could pretty much play this game all day with gobies. There's so many cool ones. Man. I feel like goby should be more popular, but I don't know. That's just me. Curtis St. Martin with the $1.50 super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. My next dream fish would be a vulture catfish. A vulture catfish. Okay, I guess I should just stay over here, but that does look like a bigger. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty neat. How big do they get though? That's the question. What's it gonna say here? Maybe 15.7. Yeah, that's a little bigger than a Pictus catfish, definitely. Seahorse. Yeah. A seahorse would be awesome. There was a YouTuber keeping seahorses but a couple years ago and breeding them, but I don't remember which YouTuber that was. It was a long time ago. It was pretty fun to watch. Seahorse would definitely be a pretty interesting species to keep. Gobies are cool. Christine says, I love bumblebee gobies. Yeah, who doesn't? It's such a cool fish. Jacob Hill says, if you had a 20-gallon, what tetra would you choose? Cardinal, neon, rummy nose, silver tip, or ember? Honestly, I would do ember. Simply because embers are smaller, which means you could have a larger school of them. Like breeding 10 colonies of Cyprichromis? I could be down for that. I used to have, I think, like 5 or 6 species of Cyprichromis and then just slowly got out of them. And now I regret getting rid of them. Randy Guy says, I would love to raise a Mabu puffer to full size and have a giant, beautiful tank with the giant wet pet. Another one for me were archers. So happy to have them. Archer fish are pretty cool. I remember when Corey had his and going down there and seeing them. They were definitely fun watching them shoot down their food. Dustin says, mine are Pistogramma cockatoides, and they just bred. What can I feed my Pistogramma fry besides live baby brine? If they're not picky, honestly, you can even like crush up flake into a powder. You could do rapashi. You know, my favorite is golden pearls. The Straw Egg Production says, I like a lot of catfish except the Asian red-tailed catfish. Heard they're fish killers. So many catfish are fish killers. That's the, you know, nothing special about them. Oh, man. Think about like the gulper catfish. Denny says, hey, everyone, happy Monday. Water changing and lurking. Is there any type of freshwater puffer that is solitary and small? Yes, my hairy puffer doesn't get much more solitary than that because he will kill anything that you put in the tank. So yeah, hairy puffer would be my vote. Super awesome fish. That would have been a bucket list fish for this live stream. However, I now own one, and I'm pretty confident that it's doing well. It's eaten everything I've thrown at it, except for snails. It hasn't eaten snails yet. I think I've been feeding it too many shrimp, so I'm going to stop throwing shrimp in there, and hopefully it'll start going after snails, because I don't want to ever have to, like, sedate it and trim its teeth. Ugh, I don't want to get into that. UPS for Living the Dream says, my CW111 Corridoras or a Dolphoy are definitely on my bucket list. Yeah, let's look at the CW111. Because this is one of the most amazing Corridoras you're ever going to see. Go to images. Move this back down here. I mean, look at this fish. The super high fin. Zebra stripes. Doesn't get much better. Look at this. This is awesome. I have never seen these for sale. I first heard about this fish probably like 4 years ago. This is definitely a bucket list fish, but I've never, ever seen them for sale. Devin says, what are your bucket list fish, Bob? I think I missed it. This one, the Benthochromos tricotti, the Adonis pleco. Yeah, I actually, honestly, I forgot that this was on my bucket list until UPSer Katie just mentioned it. But yeah, this is, and I'm pretty sure that she heard about this fish from me. So, you know, not that I'm going to brag about it, but. Can I keep any type of Can I keep any type of hap in a 55-gallon, about 4 peacocks in Mbuna? I was thinking Lethrinops. Why do I keep drinking carbonated drinks on my live stream? All it does is cause me to burp. Yeah, I think your Lethrinops would do just fine. I've kept that combination before. Steenfott Aquatics, after the topic, do you have any sizes and tips for Radonocentris or Ornatus Rainbow? My legs has some, and considering your legs, do you have sizes? So that would be another one. The Radonocentris or Ornatus was a bucket list fish for many years, but now they're starting to become really common, and I have a few different species myself. So I've actually knocked off quite a few fish off my bucket list this year. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, Steenfott Aquatics, after the topic, do you have the sizes and tips? So the sizes for the Radonocentris are going to be about 3.5, maybe 4 inches if you get a large one. If that's what you're talking about, like their adult size. But yeah, super easy fish to keep. They're not any different than any other rainbow, and all rainbows are easy to keep. Just remember, the thing with rainbows is don't miss your water changes. They can go into a wide range of water parameters, but they don't like poor quality water. So, you miss a couple water changes, you might run into some issues. Red Rainbow Kasanga, is that the Tropheus? Let's look. I'm pretty sure that's Tropheus, yep. Boom. So this one and the Enconde Yellow are two of my favorite Tropheus. This is a very beautiful fish, though. And like I said, I think Tropheus get a bad rap, but I don't think they're that hard to care for. I had the Enconde Yellow, and I still do. There we go. So these ones, yeah, the yellow with the purple head, another really cool one. Rainbows are the coolest. I think so too. Fragile Reefer says bucket list fish, pipefish. Yeah, oh man, they're really cool, but I don't think I could ever keep one. Like, I'm pretty sure those are kind of out of my wheelhouse. If I had a significantly less amount of aquariums and more time to dedicate to like a specialized fish like that, then I'd probably try it. I have a new favorite. The purple is beautiful. Steenfott Aquatics, Pseudomagil cyandoralis is my dream fish when I get into saltwater. So definitely a brackish fish for sure, and really, really cool fish as well. And the nice thing about this one is, besides them being brackish, they're really, really cool fish and really easy to breed as well. So here you can get a good look at them. Pseudomagil cyandoralis, they are a brackish fish, but yeah, once you like dive into the brackish area, this is like a must-have fish for sure. Bucket list for me are some seahorses. Yeah, I love to keep a shoal of tangerine darters and the, oh my gosh, Amatotriton vivatus. Okay, we're gonna have to look that one up again. Oh my gosh, again, I don't know why I keep switching screens, but this is pretty crazy looking creature. Is this southern banded newt? I'm wondering if it only gets that crest during breeding season, like a lot of other species. If it kept that crest like year round, I mean, that's pretty awesome, even for something that's only there for half the. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'd be curious. I'd have to do some research on that. Just received a male-female pair of something Urubesco, a fish I've wanted for 15 years. I would die for them. All right. Another fish to Google. I'm kind of curious if I'm going to get hit with any copyright strikes here, but is that the... So what's coming up for me is the red-eye pufferfish. I really want some sea dragons, specifically. There, if you get into saltwater fish, there's so many, like, unbelievably cool fish. Like, I really want an anglerfish. I realize they're really boring. They just sit there, but I still think they're awesome. Kaiser newts. Yeah, I know about the Kaiser newts. Pretty awesome. That is insane looking. Yep. All right. I don't know if it's a bucket list fish, but oh, how I would love mandarin gobies. And see, mandarin gobies is like one of those crazy saltwater fish that look unbelievable, but have some pretty hefty care requirements. Like, some people think like they're just super easy, but I don't think so. You want to raise ants? If I ever got an animal that required an ant farm, I would be totally okay with raising ants. I've done it before. I've had ant farms before, and yeah, no problem at all. I want a freshwater cowfish, says Theodore. Interested in buying fishes from online. Well, there's lots of sellers. I really don't have anything in stock right now, except for I think maybe strawberry rasboras of all things. Actually, I have quite a few of them too. I didn't realize it. Rach with the $5 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bob, I have a buddy at work who got an angler. He shows me vids of it eating all the time. Yeah, so, Rach, you'll have to let us know when you come up, because I think, yeah, you're coming up to the co-op. Maybe we can try to arrange something. Maybe have like a co-op meetup. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, the anglerfish, I want one so bad. I bought a used tank from someone that had an anglerfish, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And they're not that expensive either. Well, before COVID, they were only like $60. I don't know what they're going for now. And of course, you know, $60 and up, depending on the species. There is a restaurant by me called Cowfish. They serve sushi and hamburgers. Interesting. Okay, we got another one to Google. Kara says gaff topsail catfish. Gaff topsail catfish. Interesting. Definitely a rainbow snakehead. Yeah. Whew. If they were legal, I could go for like a dwarf snakehead. Definitely. Catch and cook gaff topsail cat. It's interesting looking fish. Does anybody eat? I don't think I've ever eaten catfish in my life. I wonder if it tastes good. All right, Sun Dad. Oh my gosh, these scientific names. We're just gonna head back over here and Google it. Sun Danio axelrodi. Close up of the blue neon rasbora. I have kept this fish many times, and sell it sometimes. This is a hard fish to get shipped in healthy conditions. Matthew Vargas, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I've ordered this fish so many times, and I would say probably about half the time it's a successful shipment. My bucket list fish would be a larvatus, a butterfly for saltwater, and an archer fish tank in my house to shoot water at my wife and kids. Yeah, I always love hearing those stories. What is this guy? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, salt. Whew, I want a saltwater tank. It'll happen eventually. Again. Malta High Jacker says, "Hey Bob, I wanted to thank for the aragonite suggestions from the last stream. Raised my pH from 4.6 to 6.8 and sitting stable. I very much appreciate it. Awesome. And you can get that at Petco for like $5 for 10-pound bags. So if you actually go into the Petco, they're $10. If you go online, they're $5, and they will match their online price. So just keep that in mind." Regina, I almost messed up. I had to stop myself. Says, "I still love archer fish. Had them before, would have them again, but clouded archers instead of banded this time." Texas Fish Room says, "I want an Asian arowana, but it won't happen due to being illegal." Yep. And I could even get those, but they're illegal. RJL says, "Spent thousands on salt, never again." My experience with salt is very easy, like the Bengai cardinal fish, the emerald crabs, a couple different species of shrimp, and then like pulsing xenia was one of the only corals I had. So everything was really easy to keep. I never really went much beyond that, and that's all I want to do again. I basically want a saltwater tank just for shrimp because they have some really cool shrimp. Zen Ginger says, "I want 2 species only tanks. Gold ocellatus colony, very cool, and Burchardii or Pulcher Neolamprologus colony." Well, you would definitely end up with a large colony for Neolamprologus. Oh, man. UPS, you're living the dream with the $1 super chat. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. 50% of the time, it works every time. Okay. If my tap was 4.6, I would definitely breed Corys. If your tap was 4.6, whew, yeah. Devin says, "Is that even legal?" I don't think so. I mean, that's like acid. Can you imagine washing your car with that? You'd have no paint on your car after a few washes. That's crazy. UPS, you're living the dream with another $1 super chat. Thank you. Luca says, "I already have a hairy puffer. Mine got hooked on shrimp. You definitely have to starve them a little. Mine likes ram's horn and pond snails." Good. That's good to know. Because I haven't given it any shrimp. Just got to make sure he's chewing on dog toys and not something he's not supposed to be on. I don't know if you guys can hear him chewing. Yeah, I haven't given him any shrimp for almost a week now. So hopefully he'll move on to snails, because I got plenty of snails. Fish Tank Barn with the $1 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Bogey says, "One of my dream saltwater fish is the blonde nano Nasso tang." Okay. Ooh. I mean, I'm gonna have that reaction with every single saltwater fish. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Oh, the candy. I'm pretty sure I know of this fish, or have seen it before. Yeah. Those are, I mean, the colors are just insane. Anyways, you get a saltwater fish. I mean, you start getting into like that bioluminescence stuff. Biofluorescence or bioluminescence. Well, both really for saltwater. Ah, man. The Tanganyikan oil catfish that Corey mentioned to me in one live stream. Still can't find the scientific name, though. Oil catfish. The Tanganyikan oil catfish. The honeycomb catfish. There's some Synodontis that are coming up. Yeah, I'm not sure. Legal tap water in the USA is 6.8 to 8.5. Just Googled it. I wish I had higher pH. I wish. My dream fish is a goldfish. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Jacob says, "If you could have any water pet that's not a fish, what would it be?" Boy. Not a fish. How about a beluga whale? That would be pretty awesome. There's some species of like monitors that are kind of aquatic. That would be really cool. Boy, I don't know. I can narrow it down just one. Lots of turtles, lots of very interesting newts out there. Now they're finding newts that are also a bioluminescence, so they have that really crazy color reflectors. And that was very scientific terminology too, by the way. I discovered the archers also shoot underwater. Mine annihilated all my shrimp hiding in the wood and plants. Interesting. I've actually never heard of that before. Pierogi catfish, Centro Malucus, something or other. Let's take a look. Yeah, this looks like the wood catfish. There's a lot of different species of wood catfish. And I actually have some downstairs in my fish room, which we're getting pretty close to finally having a fish room tour. Still got some stuff to move around though, but we're getting closer and closer. Pleasantly planted waters. Welcome to the dream team. I gotta do the dealie, even though nobody can see what it is. That's the dream team right there. If you can't see that, that's me with Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. Yeah, that was back when I used to play ball with them. We were on the dream team together. I would keep a mountain in my aquarium. It has all right. My dream fish is electric blue rams, but I went with Baddis because they're a bit more hardy, and with COVID wasn't really a budget for trial and error with fish. Electric blue rams, I feel like those are kind of in the same category as Tropheus, where they're not that hard to keep, but for some reason they have a really bad rap. So my dream fish is the Asian arowana. It's an interesting fish. If you ever see the purple one, that's the one I would want. But that one is protected pretty well. I don't know that we'll ever see that in the hobby. Hopefully someday. Christine with the $5 super chat to support. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, and I want all the cats. Like cats or catfish? Those Ember Tetras seem scared. Uh-oh. We're frozen. We're frozen. Let's see what's going on here. Interesting. They were frozen stiff. I'm boring, but my bucket list is a Betta macrostroma pair. Nothing boring about that. I mean, not at all. Those are really cool fish. And they're getting more and more available. I know Simply Betta was breeding them for a while. I don't know if she still is. My wife and daughter see me order $100 at a time from the co-op and tell me I might as well do saltwater if they only knew. $100 of what? What did I miss? I don't know. I missed something there. I don't want a fish. I want a chameleon. We'll get one. Plenty of them available. Since I was a kid, I've always wanted largemouth bass in an aquarium. That would be... I want an aquarium large enough to house a largemouth bass. That's what I want. What fish would I put in a 75-gallon? I would put in a school of rainbow fish, of course, because rainbow fish are the best. By far the best. Good to know. Thanks. A lot of people made rams seem impossible, and I get cold feet sticking to my 75. What I would recommend when it comes to rams is if you can find like captive bred locally, it's going to be a lot easier for you. If not, boy, I would buy them from a local fish store before I bought them from a chain pet store. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of up in arms on the quality you're going to get if you order them from just random places online. I got really lucky. Like the place I get them from is usually really good quality. But yeah, it's tough to say. So I guess my advice is that try to find captive bred locally. I had a 2-inch bass as a pet for about a week before I got tired of catching minnows every day. I had a raccoon for a pet for a couple days. Not a wet pet, but an African gray parrot. Those are pretty cool. So many cool birds out there. There's more cool fish than there are cool birds, but you know, there's way more fish. So, Steenfott Aquatics Jacob says, "Can you keep a pair of angels in a 29-gallon? And what's your favorite go-to tank size?" Boy, my favorite tank sizes are 40, 75, and 125. I don't know that I could pick a favorite, but those are the top three. Could you keep a pair in a 29? It'd be kind of crowded, honestly. You know, a 29 is good for like one. You could try a pair for a little bit, but I don't know. It seems kind of small. I'm sure people do it, but it seems kind of small. It's illegal in Minnesota, but I've always wanted a huge tank full of walleye and panfish. Walleye, whew, isn't that a pretty big fish? I feel like that's a pretty big fish. I would love a dwarf snakehead species, but the USA, I know. Another fish that I can order, but I can't. But I can, is the dwarf snakehead. They're really cheap too. Really cheap for me to order. I know a lot of fish keepers don't like them, but if I had room for another large tank, I would have a flower horn. I mean, flower horns are pretty dang popular. I feel like more people probably like flower horns than there are people like me that don't really care for them. Devin says, gotta go do some homework. Be back at 30. Gotta get that homework done. Joseph says, I got 5 German black rams. They all died. Yeah, that's definitely a fish that I would pay extra money for just to get it from a reputable breeder. Definitely. Recently got German blue rams, and boy, are they a cool fish. Yep. Especially if you keep them in a group. They're super fun to watch. My African gray and yellow collared macaw live in the same room as most of my tanks. That would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. I would love to keep a waterfall climbing cave loach, but they're not in the hobby yet. All right. This definitely sounds like something I have to Google. Well, this is crazy looking fish. This looks like something out of Lord of the Rings or something. Holy smokes. Wow. Evolved bodies that can actually walk on water. Well, there is an interesting chain in the evolutionary chain. My favorite are bumblebee gobies. You're not the first one to bring up the bumblebee goby. Why do you think that big pet stores get so much hate for selling fish? Because a lot of them will sell fish to people that shouldn't have fish. Or, you know, we've all been there. Well, a lot of us have been there when they're selling like common plecos to people with 10-gallon tanks. And instead of saying, no, that's not going to work, they say, okay, give me $3 and it's yours. Pleasantly Planted Water says, I'd love 50 Corys, probably a Dolphois, or the CW111 in an 8-foot wide footprint. I would love an 8-foot tank with like 100 Corridoras. And I would probably go pygmy, and I would probably do like hundreds of them. That would be awesome. Bird garden for the Steenfott Aquatics koi collection. That's going to be a long time coming type of collection. Let's invest that $20 and maybe in 30 years I'll get koi. I don't know. Thank you, Bird Garden. I appreciate it. I wish panda loaches kept their baby colors. Me too. And I wish they weren't named panda loaches just for that reason. Because they only stay panda for a very short period of their life. So it's unfortunate that they're named that after their fry. But yeah. Can you imagine if the panda loach kept their colors? That would probably be one of the most popular loaches in the hobby for sure. Okay, all the fish live to you all. Actually have to set up a new tank. I got a giant betta. My weakness of all the fish. Giant betta. Beer giant betta. I'm confused. But it sounds like you got a giant betta, so that's cool. The fish look like Falkar from the Never Ending Story. That's definitely, yeah, that's probably a better comparison. All right, Mickum. Let me Google this fish, see what it is. Pretty weird looking killifish. Pretty neat. I always love when their fins are taller than their bodies. Huh, I've never seen this one before. Wow, look at this one. Wow. That is pretty impressive finnage. Finnage. That's not a fish. Wait, this is not a fish, but I really want a Visla? I don't know what that is. Oh, a dog. That is a good looking dog. 800 gallon 800 gallon tiger barb tank, just like Corey had. That was pretty cool. I'm not much of a tiger barb guy, but that was pretty cool. I special ordered some green tiger barbs for the Zen Ginger, and I kind of fell in love with those, but not enough to keep them for myself. But it was close. It was close. Steenfott Aquatics, one of these days I'm going to get some Holland rams and send you pictures of just how massive they are for Microgeophagus ramizurii. Do it. I'd love to see him. Nope, not in Alabama. For any guy, can't even have captive raised in California, but just flat illegal to keep one in captivity here. Red. I wish I could get my... Wait. All right, gotta take a break. When I start reading like 3 comments at the same time, that means I gotta just take a break here for a second. Rainbow shiners, pretty awesome. Okay, I wish I could get back my blue whale. Had one in the 90s and never saw them again in the FD here in Toronto. Blue whale. Boy, those get pretty big. Black Label, Carling says a platinum biker. Pretty awesome. Aqua Designs, I would love some Cygnus doliatus. Their pattern looks like an electronic chip. All right. Sounds like something we're going to have to Google. Oh, more saltwater. That would explain it. Bob and indigo snake. Ah, okay. I'd have a dragon flower horn. Yeah, a lot of people like flower horns, just not for me. Not for me. Not a wet pet, but really wanted a planted paludarium with mice and possibly shrimp. Well, that's weird. I've never heard anyone say a paludarium for mice, but all right. To each their own, I guess. Anyone mention an Indian pipefish yet? Such a cool fish, but only eats live food. Yeah, that's another one we talked about earlier. I would have to have a lot less fish tanks for me to dedicate as much time as a pipefish would need. But all right. I'm well, Ginger. Hope you are too. All right. Pipefish. What else do we got here? I need some Luciocephalus aura. Let's see what this is. This is what I love about doing this kind of type of stream, because it really, like, one, you end up finding a lot of fish that you didn't know about, and it's just really fun to do. Like, it's easier for me to get suggestions from you guys than it is to go online and like Google search for hours. Yeah, that's a pretty neat fish. I love fish that have like that long cylinder type body, like pipefish, Cyprochromis, things like that. What about green Kubotii rasbora? The neon green rasboras, I think everyone should own at some point in their fish keeping career. Super cool fish. I've kept that fish for years. They look really good in planted tanks. Really, really good. I'm thinking of doing a 125-gallon brackish stream with a school of monosabes. Very unique looking fish. Snowflake eel, freshwater flounder, and a striped killifish. If you do that, I would love to see it. I've never actually seen anyone keep monosabes before. I've only seen people get them on accident, but never like a dedicated tank for them. So that'd be pretty cool. What do you think of Live Aquaria or AZ Aquatics? Do I know what AZ Aquatics is? I don't know if I know what AZ Aquatics is. Are you talking about Arizona Aquatic Gardens? Because if you're talking about that place is absolute trash. And Live Aquaria is going to be like Petco fish. So just keep that in mind. But probably not the best quality, but probably not terrible quality fish. Christine says, dude, the giant betas are my weakness. I have 7. Sounds like you need to start breeding them then. Big nope on AZ. Yeah, never buy anything from Arizona Aquatic Gardens unless you want like a bag of like just crap. Like literally. It's awful. Awful. Cranachilla, Zabrina, I believe this is a pipefish, right? Pipefish. I mean an eel, not a pipefish. There we go. Look at these guys. Wow. There's so many cool pipefish. And why do I keep saying pipefish? Eelfish. Eelfish. And here's the problem with buying eel. What am I doing? What is going on here? Pike, not eel. Pikefish. When you buy pikefish from like wholesalers or importers, they're very rarely what they say they are. So a lot of times it'll just say South American pipefish. Like there'll be no scientific name. I did it again. Pike. Not pipe. Pike. So yeah, I would love to order some pikes, but yeah, they're normally have no scientific names associated with them, except for like the more common species. But you know me, I don't want common species. I want rare stuff. I recommend Get Gills. Get Gills is a good site. The thing with Get Gills is like if you're buying them from Dan, I would absolutely endorse that. But Get Gills is like Aquabid, where there's many different sellers. So yeah, anything from Dan's Fish I would buy without any hesitation. But I can't vet everyone on Get Gills, so it's hard to just say go to Get Gills when there's like 100 different sellers, and like then I'm saying like that they're all good, and maybe they're not all good. I don't know. I haven't bought fish from all of them. But I can't tell you that Dan's Fish is the best at shipping fish and probably has some of the best quality you're going to find. Putting my carpets together next week for breeding veranda guy. Oh, I like that. What are you into now? I have a 40 bearded with dwarf rasboras. 40 breeder. What did I... Thumbs up for Dan's Fish, but I am just an absolute train wreck. I don't know what is going on today. You know, we were out camping all weekend, so I'm running on very little sleep. It's probably a majority of the problem. Bob, the blue whale catfish get to a max 10 inches and are beautiful freshwater fish. Are those the ones that you can like train? I'm not sure. Got rid of my elephant, now happy with my donkey. All right. All right. He definitely got into something. New dog has figured out how to open the trash can in the kitchen. and it's been a great time since he's learned how to do that. Only get gills for Dan. Anything else or just that website? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, I can't say, like, I can't vouch for everyone on Get Gills because I haven't ordered from everyone, right? It's like when you send people to Aquabid, like, I can't vouch for everyone on Aquabid. So, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, I just can't say eBay is awesome. Like, anything you buy from eBay is going to be good. Obviously not. You're going to get scammed. You're going to get taken for. But anything from Dan's Fish is going to be awesome. That I can say. Anyways. Andy says, after last week's topic, I went to Petco to grab a few 20 longs, but they had none. So I went to Pet Supplies Plus. They had a ton of 20 longs and were thrilled to price match Petco. Yeah, most places will. Most places will. Furlough Aquatics, what's up, buddy? Aqua Discovery with the $1 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Dan currently has some highway catfish, and I'm trying to figure out if I could potentially put them, where I could potentially put them because they are so cool. All right, let's Google it. Let's duck go it. It's like the wood catfish, kind of. Oh no, completely different. But wow, now there's something you don't see every day. I feel like that's something that you would definitely want to make room for, because that's pretty cool fish. Oh, my dream rainbow fish. Oh man, boy, I don't know that I have a dream rainbow fish. They're all pretty cool. I don't think I could pick one off the top of my head. Do you have any advice for keeping the dwarf pike cichlid? So there's, again, it's one of those things where there's a few different species of the dwarf pike cichlid, and they're all sold as dwarf pike. But generally, they can be somewhat aggressive or highly aggressive. So I would just watch their aggression, and I don't know if you plan on keeping them with anything else, but just watch them. Make sure they're not killing everything. How many dwarf cories in a 20 long? Please, room for the babies. Well, you could do like Corydora pygmaeus. I mean, in a 20 long, you could easily do a dozen or more. Let's see. Have you ever kept black ghost knives? Nope. Nope. I'll probably never get into ghost fish just because they get pretty dang big. Aqua Discovery says, what is your largest tank? The largest tank I currently have up and running is 240 gallons. However, I've sold that to Danny, but I still have it and I'm still using it. Once that's gone, I'll be moving in a tank that's close to 300 gallons, and then that will be my biggest. Colin Critter Cave says, why is there only half the amount of likes as viewers? Let's hit the like button. Hit the like button. Don't forget, hit the like button. Oh yeah, look at that. 300 people, 140 likes. Hit the like button. Is your background Rio's tank? Yes, absolutely it is. That dude is really popular because we get multiple comments every single day, and I love it. Well, anytime I use this backdrop, I should say. Dwarf pike try tangled up in cichlids. Did somebody buy that? Because I heard Mr. Jeff there was getting out of the business, and I don't know. Did he turn the business over to someone else? Is it still going on? I haven't looked at that site in a long time. I have 12 pandas and a 20 long with 6 rose danios and a hillstream loach. Doing great. About to upgrade to a 33 long. That is a great tank. A great tank. Susan, what's up, Susan? Good to see you, my friend. Okay, what else? What else? My dog sticks her head in the kitchen trash to check it out, but never takes anything out. Amy, I wish my dog was the same. Yep. You, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Come here, big guy. Oh, yeah, there you are. There you are. Look, can you see yourself? No, you can't see yourself. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, that's it. Okay, calm down. Okay. Okay. Rio seems the nicest guy. Super nice guy. I love him. He's awesome. I hope to meet him one day. I've only met him over the internets. I wish Petco sold 33 longs. I wish they sold 33 longs. I wish they sold 40 longs. I wish they sold 30-gallon breeders. I desperately need 30-gallon breeders, like so bad. We can't get them anywhere. Clyde says, where do you buy your fish from, Bob? And do you buy the same place as Corey Aquarium Co-op buys from? No. Unfortunately, Aquarium Co-op gets to buy from one of the best wholesalers in the nation, and I do not, unfortunately. So no, we do not get our fish from the same place. Most of my fish either come from a private breeder in California, or, you know, I have a couple of accounts in the East Coast, Florida farms, things like that. Rarely do I order stuff from the East Coast, though. Furloughs Aquatics, welcome to the Steen Dream Team, my friend. Sophie says, my fat dog stole a whole family's worth of chicken off the stove last week. Yeah, this dude, I made a frozen pizza, like one of the big ones, not like the small Totinos, like the big one. What was it? I think Red Baron. And all I did was leave the kitchen for a second, came in here, grabbed my drink off my desk, went back out to the kitchen, and the whole thing was gone in a matter of under a minute. It was insane. He ate it. He just chowed the whole thing down, like, instantly. It was crazy. It was fun cleaning up that poop. Big troublemaker. 20-gallon breeding project bucket list. You should check out my video from 2 weeks ago. I did exactly that. 20-gallon breeding. It was... I think it was 2 weeks ago. Wasn't it? Maybe not. Either way, it was in the last month. I want a rainbow shark. Rainbow sharks are cool. Red tail sharks are cool. Yeah. It's not so cute when he's face deep in the kitchen trash. Now I have to devise a way to keep the lid closed without him able to lift the lid up. Where does Corey get his fish from? Because Sarah does not sell fish, and that's what I think he got them from. No, they're Sarah fish bags. They're not from Sarah. So, definitely Sarah does not sell fish, at least in this country. Ultimate breeding fish for profit setup with only 20 Oh, that's the video right there. Thanks for the link. Wheat pizza is not good for dogs. Oh, a lot of human food is not good for dogs. It's not like it was intentional. Trust me. I'm not usually in the business of giving an entire pizza to a dog. I saw a store that was selling a bunch of 1-inch dovies for $5 each. That seems overpriced. Overpriced. For caught rainbow fish and blue-eyed Pseudo McGills, the same fish. Wait, what? Are you asking if they're the same fish? Because they're definitely not the same fish. Barbara Jackson, yes, an entire pizza, the whole thing, and it was still like blazing hot out of the oven, and he didn't care. Jordan says, I love leopard frog plecos, and my dream is a sturgeon. Dream big, buddy. They grow so slow you could keep one for years before donating it to an aquarium. Well, sturgeon are awesome, but I would not advocate buying animals just to give them away, because what happens if that place can't take them, right? I mean, they may say right now, yeah, in 5 years you can certainly donate that fish, and then in 5 years when they have like 100 sturgeon already, they're gonna be like, no, we can't take it anymore. But yep. Let's see. So where does he get his fish from then? I will not say where he gets his fish from. One, it's not my business to say some other company's suppliers. Plus, the minute we start giving out wholesale information and, you know, hundreds of people start calling them, that's when they're gonna start like closing back down again. Like, not closing back down, but really limiting on who they sell to. And if they find out like I was the one that said it, then I would get my accounts closed down. They don't like thousands of people calling them. Peep Lost Sheep says, I'm hoping to eventually get some freshwater pom-pom crabs to go in a 75-gallon. The only place I know to get those is shrimpybusiness.com. I think. Shrimpybusiness.com. Other invertebrates. And yep, here they are, freshwater pom-pom crabs. Not that I don't know if you were asking where to get them, but this is the only place I know to get them. It's always on the box when they do unboxings. So I will tell you that a lot of places reuse boxes even from other sources. So, which to me it seems like bad business to like use boxes of your competitors. That's actually how I found out about other wholesalers, was when a current wholesaler shipped me fish in a competitor's box, and I was like, what is this place? Let me call them up. And yeah. So, this like industry is so bizarre. Like, it does things that like no other industry would do. It's crazy. Eliska says, my dog stole old fried chicken out of the garbage while we were at work and couldn't finish it all, so I placed the leftovers on a paper plate. He also stole that from the garbage. Why did they gotta eat from the garbage? Taylor says, my dog did that to a wedding cake. I was cooling to decorate for a wedding later that day. Went to the restroom, came back to crumbs. Yikes. Yikes. What's my favorite rad? I mean, it's the most common one, but I really like Siri Creeks, and they're probably always going to be my favorite. There's other ones that look better. Yeah, but Siri Creeks still look pretty awesome. They're super durable. I mean, mine are still outside in 40 degree water, which is insane. And they're just schooling around in the bottom. So they're just, yeah. I think it'll be Siri. I'm gonna go with Siri Creek. Will probably always be my favorite. Do you think about Joey Waru Joey? I generally don't think about him. It's not something I usually think about. Joey. I usually don't think about Joey in my free time, and I hope he doesn't think about me in his free time, because that'd be kind of weird. Siri Creek is my favorite. Awesome. My 2 pups just steal all of our shoes and scatter them in the yard. I've been lucky. I've been so lucky that I haven't had any dogs that have like chewed shoes. Knock on wood, because hopefully I'll have more in my lifetime. But so far I've been really lucky. I had a ferret once that would steal all my socks and hide them under my bed and under my dresser. But so far my shoes have been safe my entire life. But man, missing socks. There's nothing more annoying than missing socks. I love to be able to keep all different types of licorice gourami. I currently keep Linkii, but they are so beautiful. There are so many beautiful types to breed. I just got into gouramis for the very first time in my life. I bought some about a month ago. I think I've had them for about a month. Maybe someone can correct me, but I just bought honey gouramis, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. So far, I like them. So far, they're pretty neat. I don't know why it took me so long to get them, but yeah, so far I'm loving them. KG Cichlid says, I think about Bob in my free time. Well, see, that's not weird for you though. Like that seems pretty normal to me. My dog ate like $500 worth of shoes this year. Phew. Yeah, I'm glad, because I leave my shoes around all over the place. The Christmas Story movie, the dog eats their turkey, so they went to an Asian restaurant for goose. What? Andy says, I so miss keeping ferrets. Ferrets are such a fun animal. You know what else was a fun animal? Sugar gliders. I miss my sugar gliders a lot. There really are a lot of types of licorice gouramis, but they are super pretty fish. I wish they were okay in my super, super hard water. I simply don't have the patience to convert them to my water. Black Label says, none of my socks match. My dog steals them and presents them as gifts to anyone who comes in the house. Epistogramma benchai. Yep, that is my all-time favorite episto. And we can take a quick peek at it too. Look at this fish. I love just the mohawks these fish have. Out of all the epistos, I like their mohawks the best. This is the Inca 50 or the Epistogramma benchai. But yeah, my all-time favorite episto. And as soon as I can find a good source for these and have the FUDs, I plan on picking up a group and hopefully start to breed them again. Because I bred them about 5 years-ish ago. I don't know. Kept so many fish, like the timeline is always kind of in question. I love sugar gliders, can't get them. California. Yeah, you can't get anything in California. That's why everyone's moving out. Nobody likes California anymore. I'm just kidding. California is awesome. I need some of those epistos. Yes, you do, Ginger. And then you could breed them and sell them to me. Who's your favorite fish YouTuber keeper other than you? Like, if I was my favorite, can you imagine that kind of ego? Oh, man. Trey says, I will buy those epistos from you. Yeah, I wish I could find them. I've like contacted every single one of my wholesalers. I'm like, I need epistos. I don't even care what kind. Obviously, I want these ones, but I'll take whatever you can get. And they're just so hard to come by. I don't know why. Black Label says, Rage, California is such a party pooper on fun animals. They're a party pooper on a lot of stuff. Mudkicker75 says, 29 gallon with Panagara, reticulated hillstream, and 12 lemon tetra. Any issues? Sounds awesome. Sounds like a good mix of fish to me. Panagara, one of my favorite fish. Hillstream loaches, awesome. Lemon tetras, one of my favorite tetras. And I'm hoping to do a school of about 200 of them when I get my new 300-ish tank set up. Corys you'd recommend for breeding. Please, nothing that's over $40 a fish. Woof. Honestly, it depends on why you're breeding them. If you're breeding them to try to like breed for profit, I'd probably go stir-by Corridoras because they're by far the most popular Corridora and they hold value really well. They're not the cheapest Cory, but they're not the most expensive by any stretch of the imagination. So you can never go wrong with stir-by Corridoras. Another really popular one is peppered Corridoras. Any of the pygmy Corridoras are always super popular. Natalie Hernandez says, oh my god, hi. Oh my god, hi. I just started watching you back in middle school. Wait, I started watching you back in middle school? Crazy. When was that? Like yesterday? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Epistogramma benchai. Jason at Redfish Bluefish has them in QT now. Well, yeah, but see, I would want to know like where he got them from, because that's probably not a fish that I'd want. Like I don't want a Florida farm benchai. We can have Gambusia in California though, so well there. Hoity-toity. I used to give my sugar glider moms a cricket in each front paw, and then I could peek inside at their babies. Oh, man. Why do you have only one fish in stock? No offense, just curious because I want to buy. I do have news on that. Hopefully, we'll be getting restocked in rainbows very soon. But honestly, I don't know that it's going to matter because I don't ship in December. And I don't ship the week of Thanksgiving. So, like, at this point, even if I got them next week, they wouldn't be ready to go till January. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't have a lot of fish in stock right now because fish were really hard to come by during COVID when everything was shut down. And, yeah. So, places have been open now for about 2 months. And then places actually closed back down. And now, like, everyone's talking about closing back down again. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But that's why I don't have fish. And also because USPS was terrible for, like, a 3-month period. So, I had no interest in even shipping fish because so many packages were getting lost. Agreed. Blacklight, I tried to call and see if they could get a permit. No dice. I seriously need to move. See, I told you, everyone's ditching that state. Everyone's moving out. Whatever happened to your old giant nano fish tank? I followed it a long time ago and totally forgot what happened to it. Do you still have it by chance? I do still have it. It is currently being overtaken by algae, and there is a really nice carpet of Val in there. But yeah, I still have it. It's still there. So that was part of my my double 125 stand. I'm actually redoing the 125 on top of it right now, rescaping it, the whole 9. And then once that's done, then I'm gonna do I want to do something to the stand to make it nicer, because right now there's like no finish or anything on it. So yeah, once I'm done redoing that 125, then I'm gonna make the stand look nice, and then we'll see both of those tanks. Because luckily it's just hair algae, which is like the easiest algae in the world to get rid of. So Jason has some rad contacts. Ivana Adokeda. I feel like I should know how to pronounce that, but I don't. We're gonna take a look at that fish because it's not one that gets brought up a lot, and I'm glad you mentioned it. Here we go. Yeah, this is a really, really cool fish. I don't know why I keep looking over there. So it's well, because my monitor's over there, but yeah, a lot of the Nanacara are pretty awesome, honestly. I've kept a few of them over the years. I don't have any now, but I have kept a few of them over the years. Chevy Fish says, good night and stay safe and well. Oh, UPSer living the dream. See you later. Thanks for the $2 in super chats. I appreciate it. I have 20 plus Paleotis Cories growing out right now. My first intentional Cory egg hatching. Awesome. Awesome. That's a really good one. Paleotis. Not the most expensive by any means, but definitely a good starter. And I mean, that's the first one I bred too. So there you go. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but I will say that you say, I like classic neon tetras. I mean, I feel like outside of like probably bettas and goldfish, the neon tetra is probably responsible for bringing in the most people into the hobby. I feel like it's hard for, I mean, for me, like the first time I saw a neon tetra, I was like, oh my gosh, I want those. That's a super awesome looking fish. And I feel like a lot of people are that way. Maybe, you know, they're stopping in at Petco to get some dog food and they see the neon tetra and they're like, whoa, that's a really cool fish. It is. You can't go wrong with the classics for sure. Do all corridors breed the same? I have pandas that constantly have fry, but my Julii haven't bred. So theoretically, yes, but they do some like different water parameters. So, but they're all egg layers. So in that aspect, they all breed the same. Matt DLR says, do you still take vids for your background? Absolutely, I do. They just got to be 1080p in at least 7 minutes, with no moving no moving of the camera, just like this. Set it on a tripod and just walk away. Multi-Jacker says, Bob, ever heard of chameleon whiptail catfish? Absolutely. They're pretty awesome. Now the problem with the chameleon whiptail catfish is that there's a few different species sold under that name. And one of them is really cool, and one of them is like kind of cool. So you just got to make sure that it's the right one. And you know when you see it, so you just got to ask for pictures. What is this one? Let's see. Another killifish. Killifish are popular tonight, which is good. I'm glad. Killifish should definitely be way more popular. My Petco is so great. They actually keep GSPs, mollies, and many other fish in brackish water like they're supposed to. And they have U.S. natives and don't carry monster fish unless you custom order. Interesting. What's the email for me to send some vids in? Also, do you want 1080p or you find minimum 1080p? And the email is always steenfottaquatics@gmail.com. You can email me anytime you want. probably you know, I don't respond to all of them, but I do read them all if that makes you feel better. I may not have responded, but at least I read it. Eventually, I read them all. But like, to the people that email me and like, they'll, you know, when I get the email like, how do I take care of a neon tetra? Like, I don't respond to those because you need to learn how to figure that out on your own. Like, if you haven't figured out how to use the internet by this time in your life, I can't help you. So, what factor pondfish? Wait, what factor pondfish? What? Wow, a wow factor pondfish. Not koi, goldfish, or Malawi cichlids. 16 leaning Malawis now. Wait, you said not Malawi, but now you're leaning Malawi? I would always go with Malawi cichlids over koi or goldfish, personally, but that's just me. How do you keep autocinkless fry alive? They appear for 4 days, then disappear. I presume gel isn't good enough. You need lots and lots and lots of algae, you know, vegetables, zucchini, cucumber, and they need access to it. Like, don't just put it in one spot in the tank. Put it all over the place so they can find it. But yeah, autocinkless fry, lots of algae, and lots of food. Neon, 60% blue, 40% red. Cardinals, 60% red, 40% blue. All right. Bob Kaler is here. What's up, Bob? What do you think about 6 pandacories, 8 endlers, 2 to 3 mono shrimp, and 2 neorites in a 10-gallon tank in the kitchen from last week's stream? Ah, the kitchen tank. The kitchen tank. That's probably, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's kind of small for 6 pandacories, but it would probably work. 8 endlers, mono shrimp, you'd be fine with everything else, but I'm sure there's people that keep 6 cories in a 10-gallon and it's just fine. You know, pandas are some of the smaller corydoras, so at least, you know, you got that going for you. I don't have a heater in my tank and it's low-key cold. I have a betta. What other things should I do to keep the betta warm? This is temporary. I'm going to go buy a heater in the next day or so. You could wrap it in blankets or towels. You definitely need to get the heater, though. Absolutely. Curtis St. Martin with the $1.50 super chat. Thank you. Subbed, mosquito fish are alpha. Hey, you don't hear that every day. Under the intentions of just doing it for fun, what killifish would you recommend to breed a colony of right now? And I don't know, a lot of people will like my answer, but my go-to killifish is the Norman's lamp-eye killifish. I would get that in a heartbeat. I would breed them again in a heartbeat, and I hope to do so sooner rather than later. But the Norman's lamp-eye killie is a really cool fish. My betta has been flaring his gills like crazy for the last couple of days. My water parameters are all good. Is this cause for concern or just what they do? I mean, if he's seeing his reflection, then he's probably going to flare. And that could just be all that's going on. That's kind of what, if it's a male, that's kind of what they do. For the betta without a heater, water bottles of hot water. Yeah, that's another, I mean, yeah, just get the heater. My bucket list fish is a Pistogramma salmonella. I don't know. Let's Google it. How about that? Ooh, and we got a super chat, but we're going to take a look at this fish first. New Episto described. I think it's this one. Is it this one? I'm going to go with this one. That's, you know, I've never seen that one before. That's pretty cool. A $5 super chat from, oh man, I'm just going to butcher your name. Group of male only red, neon, blue eye, rainbow fish, and a planted 10-gallon possible. Yes. Hey, if you guys are going to bang into my desk, you need to go play somewhere else. Any aggression, not interested or have the room. Let's see. Group of male only red. I mean, that would work. That would work. I don't think you'd have any problems there. I mean, obviously, if you put like 100 males in there, you'd have a problem. But yeah, definitely possible. You could put like 6 in there. They're not going to fight, but they're definitely going to spar. I would think actually that the absence of females would keep that to a minimum because they have no one to fight over. So yeah, should be all right. Any rainbows that you would recommend for a 32-gallon ram tank? For those aquatics, I mean, I don't know if you have Pracox rainbows, but if you don't, that would be a really good one. Parva rainbows are really good. Goiter River rainbows are really good. You know, smaller rainbows. Any of the Pseudomagills, like Gertrude would be a good one. Hope that was enough recommendations for you to look at. Anyone recommend a place to get Notho killifish or advice on care? I read they can live in hard water and they are one of my bucket list species. Well, I don't know if he has any now, but Dan's Fish sometimes has some killifish in. Oh, excuse me. Those puppies do not sound happy. Well, that's because they're fighting. Well, not fighting, but like play fighting. I remember you kept... I currently don't have any mormorids. I'm not familiar with the scientific name of them. Oh, the elephant nose catfish. I actually gave that away within like a couple of weeks. So this is like even us YouTubers impulse buy stuff that we shouldn't buy, and we say not to do it. But this is one of those things where I did what I say don't do, and I impulse bought it before researching it, and the fish store only had one, and so I bought it. And they do like to be in groups, and after a couple weeks of not finding any, I gave it to someone who already had like 4 or 5 of them. So could you colony breed the Norman Lampi killifish? Yes, that's the only way I do it. I actually bred my Norman Lampi killies were in a tank with Pseudomagil fricatatas, and they bred like nonstop. Really densely, heavily planted tank though, so the fry can survive. What's my favorite non-common tetra? The HY511. HY511, or sometimes called the candy cane tetra. Dan's Fish unfortunately does not carry that species. It's definitely like a website that you should have bookmarked and check in on quite a bit. How many of us have not bought something on impulse? That's usually like how I buy everything. Like I research most everything, but like my tent that I just bought. I was like, I don't need a new tent. I don't need it. I'm not gonna waste money on it. And then I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna buy it after like months. So, when are you getting clown killies in? I haven't seen them available since the COVID shutdown, so I can't say. That's honestly. The clown killie was responsible for keeping that website up and running and paid for everything, just selling clown killies. Like by far my #1 seller. And I haven't seen them since March. So I mean, I don't know. I wish I knew. Trust me. Because I made a lot of money on that fish. Now I'm jealous of Bob C getting to meet up with fellow hobbyists. Bucket list fish, black pearl killifish. All right. Well, you don't got to spam it. You're going to get timed out if you spam it. Oh, and you just got timed out. I impulse bought a baby dolphin fish when I first got into the hobby, and that thing was awesome, but I also wanted a school, and the store only had one. Yep. Bucket list, pea puffer. Not impossible to find here in Montreal. A really cool fish, though. Ginger Grave says, I love the clown killie. I want more of them. Yeah, super awesome fish. I hope I can get them again soon, but actually, well, I just got the new list today. Let's see if they're on the list. Whoa. Oh, here we go. Go to my email. Let's see if they're somehow magically back on the list. Ooh, golden white clouds and longfin white clouds. All right. I already have both of those though, but still a cool fish. What else? Rainbows, turquoise rainbows are back on the list. Pygmy corridors are back. Haven't seen those in a while. Hey, Farlowellas, look at that. Calico, bushy nose, plecos, and negative. No clown killifish on the list. Rainbow gobies are on the list. Pea puffers are back. Nope. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever had threadfin acara? No, I have not. That would be a bucket list fish for me. I've never kept threadfin acaras. I don't have very much experience in acaras at all. As a matter of fact, at all. Eric Furlow, do you know those rams are going to need to be kept in 80 to 84 degrees to do well? What? Which ones? Which ones? I will tell you where I get my German blue rams from. They have been doing just fine in 78 degree water. So, I don't know which rams you're talking about. My bucket list fish is the Devil's Hole pupfish. Devil's Hole pupfish. Mr. Bob Vance, we're gonna Google that. Devil's Hole. Is this the one that's like critically endangered? Like death. Yeah. This is the one. So these are like super duper endangered, right? I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are like super duper endangered. Trey says, it was a pleasure, y'all. Hopefully not too many impulse buys happened after this stream. I want threadfin rainbows too. You know what? Actually, I do have threadfin rainbows. I'm going to fix that right now. Uno momento. We're going to put threadfin rainbows in stock. I'm doing this right now, or I'll forget. Threadfin. And there. All right. Now I'm back. If the Devil's Hole pupfish were not so endangered, I would totally have some. I mean, I would take some just to try to breed them. I think that would be fun. My LFS carries the Devil's Hole. I feel like you're trolling me with something. Devil's Hole. They're only in one hole where once some drunk people drove in and almost made them extinct. Isn't it like... Is this the one that's like 100 and some degree water too? I could be wrong. I probably am. I usually am. Oh, 91 degrees. There you go. I exaggerated a little bit. Now you're just making it hard. I don't have room for thread fins at the moment. What goes with red cherry shrimp and does not eat babies? Small, almost any rasbora that you can get. Well, there's some bigger rasbora species available in the hobby, but I mean, the neon green rasbora, my absolute favorite rasbora would be good. The neon blue, strawberry, chili, any of the micro rasboras. You wouldn't have to worry about it at all. Jordan says, I would love Soda Lake cichlids, but I can't keep the water that hot. They're kind of an interesting species. Not the most active fish, but they're pretty cool in their own right, I feel. I used to have a breeder locally to me that bred them. And I was always amazed at how hot that fish tank was every time I went over there. Never had rainbow fish. I really want to try them though. Yeah, you need to. Absolutely, you need to. They are super awesome. What are they doing? I don't know how to speak English. I'm just using a translator. What is wrong with them? I don't know why they are sending me a message. Where are they going? Because they have no idea what you're talking about, buddy. My bucket list fish is a 50+ gallon tank for an Apisto colony. That would be awesome. Never going to go wrong with Apistos, ever. I heard clown killies did well with clown killies. They do, yeah. Clown killies do well with clown killies. What's the most challenging, difficult fish you've ever kept? I feel like there should be, I feel like I should be able to rattle off like a dozen fish. But I'm drawing a total blank right now. It's got to be something. I know there's something. Steenfott Aquatics T-Shot says, I just got a black ram. That was definitely a fish I've wanted since seeing them. I guess you could say it was on the bucket list. I haven't really bought into those black rams yet. I think they're awesome, but I don't know. They're just something. I find them fishy. Like, I'd really like to see their fry and see if the fry are black. But I know Dean's been doing a really good job keeping his like super duper dark dark rams, but outside of Dean, you know, I see these show up, like Florida Farms have them now, and I'm just thinking, man, that can't be good quality. But anyways, how long does it take to get Bosemani rainbow fish to color up? You can get them some color in like 7-8 months from being born. Allison said, Alice Shawn. Sorry, don't know how to pronounce her name. I keep soda cichlids at 86, same tep I kept L46. Bred fine until the male passed. There you go. Oxalotls are critically endangered in the wild, but thousands upon thousands bred in the hobby. I think people would be surprised when they find out like what's critically endangered and what's like, there's so many like just super common fish that are critically endangered in the wild, like the Bosemani rainbow fish. Used to be critically endangered. I don't know if it's still, but it's definitely like a fish that you find just everywhere. Just got some elephant snails. They're like Malaysian trumpet snails, but better in my opinion. I have a colony of least killies in a tank with blue shrimp, and blue shrimp are definitely multiplying. Least killifish, yes, the Heterandria formosa would be great with any shrimp. They're definitely too small to eat shrimp. How do I get better aquascaping with rocks and wood? Practice and watching lots of videos. I'm terrible at aquascaping. I don't even try to aquascape. The way I aquascape my tanks is I just throw everything in, and wherever it falls, it falls. And then I just plant around it. That's pretty much how I aquascape. But otherwise, I mean, there's so many good aquascapers. Just watch their videos, try to mimic it. Practice makes perfect, just like anything else. White clouds are extinct in their native habitat. I actually didn't know that. No one mentioned zebra plecos yet. Zebra plecos haven't made the list. They were a bucket list fish of mine, but I mean, I had a colony of them, so they no longer are. 22 degrees colder tomorrow than today. Apparently, I've heard the black ram spawns show up golden and black. Yeah, so I mean, outside of Dean, I don't know that I would trust anyone. If I was buying like the black rams, I don't think I would get them from anyone but Dean. What about 6-banded killie? Will they eat shrimp? I mean, the trick is to just give the shrimp enough place to hide. Because I mean, honestly, I keep shrimp with like all my rainbow fish, and they eat shrimp. But if you have a densely planted aquarium, then the shrimp will always outproduce. They won't get picked off very much. So that's the key. Lots of plants, dense plants, and you can keep them with any fish. Not a problem. What has a very small mouth and breeds like crazy? Most rainbow fish. Most rainbow fish. Tips on breeding clown killies. I've actually never bred them myself, so I don't have very many tips for you at all. I know Aqua Discovery has bred them. If he's still here, maybe he can give you some tips. Colony of killifish. Killifish are not live bearing. Power of thirds. Power of the pyramid. Endlers, live bears have small mouths and breed like crazy and sell for a lot. Yep, I mean, endlers, guppies. Yeah. Aquascape, Streetwise says, aquascaping for me, get the biggest piece of wood that barely fits and put it down like a tripod, then fill the rest with plants, then add more plants. Yeah. Like, there's no way, like, I could do this, like, Rio's aquascape behind me. Like, I don't know. I prefer like jungle tanks personally, where everything just grows wherever it wants, out of control. Fisher and Fever with the $1 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Jadrin Aquatics is breeding killies on video now. There you go. So check out Jadrin's Aquatics, and he's just a nice guy anyway. So check out his channel. My orange shrimp traveled on guppy grass to my zebra pleco tank and are everywhere in there. Probably not a bad thing. How many lampi killie to start in a 20 long? I would probably get like maybe a minimum of 6 to 10 would be a good amount. I just mess around with rocks and plants until it looks good. And it's, you know, it's also pretty subjective. Like what looks good to me probably doesn't look good to hardly anyone else, but I like it, and that's all that matters. Mike Jernick, just want to stop by and say hi. Well, hello, buddy. Welcome to the live stream. Let's see. Where are we at here? What else? I mess around with rocks and plants so it looks cool. Clown killifish. Here we go. Lots of Java moss and floating plants. I was overrun with fry. There you go. I have my second video just posted. It's a preview of my fish tank. I like to have just a little control, and it grows out of control because I'm too lazy to trim or rescape it. Do you like biotopes? I don't think biotopes are ever done correctly. Like you see Amazon biotopes all the time, and they have plants that are just not in the Amazon. Like a lot of the Amazon doesn't have any plants at all. So yeah, they're rarely done correctly, but the idea of biotopes I'm okay with, and I'm also okay with them like calling them an Amazon biotope, even though there's plants and stuff that are not from the Amazon. I get it. If it's too long of an explanation, don't worry about it. Well, I don't even know what you're talking about, so there you go. Get Outdoors. That's our outdoor channel. Got a new video coming soon, so check it out if you haven't. We're close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you like being outdoors, check out that channel. Pretty sweet. How do you start a colony of killifish? You just buy a colony of them. It's that simple. What's a good number of colony of coolie loaches to go with shrimp and chili rasboras in a 75? I mean, you could do like 50 of them if you wanted to. That's really up to you. The nice thing is they're very inexpensive, especially for how awesome of a fish they are. I mean, you could do probably as many as you could afford, honestly. Do you know anything about freshwater crabs? Thinking about adding 2 pom-pom crabs to my 55-gallon community. So if it was me, if I had pom-pom crabs, if I had to do it again, I would have a place for them to come out. They say fully freshwater, but I would still have something like a piece of driftwood or something for them to crawl out of the water when they feel they want to or need to. I feel like that's kind of a necessity. So if I had to do pom-pom crabs again, I would definitely have something that came out of the water, but not something that would allow them to like climb out of the aquarium. Steenfott Aquatics, what carpets in a very low light and cost a bit? Well, there's not much that's going to carpet in really low light. So there's things that will carpet in lower to like medium light, like dwarf hairgrass, dwarf chainsword, but just keep in mind it's gonna grow slow. It's gonna spread really slow in low light. But those would be 2 that I would recommend for you. I like swords, plain but easy to grow, don't need much maintenance, fill up the tank, and fish love hanging out under them. Yep, sword plants are pretty awesome. And there's so many different varieties of sword plants now. It's ridiculous. Bob Killer says, started breaking down my big tub today. Shipped plants to 3 friends so far. That's awesome. I plan on setting up a high-tech 20 with reds and pinks and such. Ideas for killies that goes well with red and pinks. 20-gallon long with reds. Are you talking about like red and pink plants? Herb Diversity says, I'm carpeting with the 4-leaf clover plant in low light. Yeah, that's one that probably doesn't get mentioned a lot. It's one that can carpet well with low light, but it's still one of those things, like the more light you give it, the faster it's going to carpet. Bob Kaler with a $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm also carpeting with Pogostemum stellatus octopus. How do you carpet with a plant that's like 9 feet tall? Did you go camping on the island? No. So actually our plans got changed multiple times. We weren't able to find someone to take us to our deserted island. So then we went to a place and got snowed out and had to leave. And then we found a really cool spot by a river, and that was our adventure last weekend. So it should be pretty fun to watch. It was a lot of fun. We went to the top of the mountain, and it wasn't supposed to start snowing till today, but it started snowing when we were there on Saturday. And if we had stayed, we would have got stuck on top of the mountain. There would have been no way to get down. The road going up was so narrow, and the switchbacks were so steep that if there was snow on the road, like there already was a little bit of snow, but like a fresh layer of snow, we would have slid right off. I thought about trying a Pogostemum octopus carpet a while ago. I feel like you would need super high light to keep that plant from not growing tall. Oh man. Planet is nice. I've read about most crabs needing a place to get out of the water. How does that affect pom-poms? So I have like no like real life experience. When I kept pom-poms, everyone said they were fully aquatic, so I didn't even bother. But now if I was to do it again, I absolutely would give them a chance to get out of the water. Dwarf sage ? It's an awesome plant. Can't go wrong with dwarf sage. I have got it spreading on that 20 long tank that I set up, I don't know, a month and a half ago. It's starting to spread like crazy in that tank. Pea puffer, any place in Washington that sells those, or do you can't find them at local? I don't know. I mean, I don't know of other places inventory, unfortunately. And I'm not by really any fish stores, so like it's not like if I was close to fish stores, I would probably go all the time and have a good idea of what they have. But I don't. So I don't know like who keeps puffers are pretty hard to come by in general right now. So yeah, I don't know of anyone who sells pea puffers currently. I did buy some, however, they all came in like full of parasites and they didn't make it. So yeah. Thoughts on non-CO2 and how do you succeed with it? Well, easily. I mean, there's so many planet tanks that thrive without CO2. It's not CO2 is more of it's definitely not something that's required. It's just like extra fluff. So CO2, it'll make your plants, more colorful. It'll make them grow faster, but certainly not required. Definitely not. Help, my dwarf gourami was doing fine alone in my 5-gallon, but a few months later, he is thin, pale, and skittish. My water parameters are okay with plenty of plants. What can I do? 5 gallons is kind of small even for a dwarf gourami. I know it says dwarf in the name, but still pretty small. Well, I guess there's some like super small dwarf gourami, so it would depend on the species. But there's something like where water parameters are okay, but what are they? We need to know what they actually are. Christopher says, I've had 0 success with carpeting plants. Tried dwarf hairgrass, dwarf sage, micro chainsword. Could it be fluorite substrate is bad for them? No, it may be light. All of those I've grown in low light. It just takes forever. I mean, I would never buy fluorite myself, but that doesn't mean that it's like a bad substrate. It's definitely, I would not say that substrate is your problem. It's got to be something else. Regina says, I'm still here, just making pot roast. Oh, man. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner, but I am starting to get pretty hungry. Corey sells them from time to time. Yeah, so when they're available, you can definitely get them at the co-op for sure. Anubias or Java Fern. If you're forcing me to pick one, I will pick Anubias all day long. just because there's more species of Anubias than there are species of Java Fern. But needle leaf Java Fern is one of my favorite all-time plants ever. So we talking about bucket list fish. About to get one of mine, the Rhinogobius zuzui. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh. Chat, stop moving. Stop talking so I can copy it. Let's see. And we'll go here. Ooh, this is a nice one. That picture's not very nice, but well, these are some poor quality photos. I hope I don't get copyright strike for this. There we go. That one's a little better. Yeah, that's a pretty cool fish. How much dwarf sage in a 4 foot? A lot. If you're asking like how much you have to buy to cover your 4 foot tank, I mean, first of all, what kind of 4 foot tank, right? The depth matters, but a lot. You'd be better off buying like a dozen pots and like spreading them out and letting them just grow on their own. My tank with fluorite is by far my worst tank. Growing plants is the hardest in it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of fluorite at all. I will never ever buy it again. Someone says try Osmocote. I would never do Osmocote ever again either. I would not recommend Osmocote for beginners, but that's just me. Pleasantly Planted Water says, I added very low amounts of CO2, 1 bubble per 2.5 seconds to a planted tank, and it allowed baby tears and Monte Carlo to grow across driftwoods and weep downward as it throws trailers. That's pretty awesome. So there's definitely plants that, you know, you need CO2. Then you're starting to get into those high-tech plants like Monte Carlo. So yeah, there's definitely places, and you know, there's definitely CO2 has its place in the hobby for sure. Bite your tongue. I love fluorite. I bite my tongue a lot on accident. I'm certainly not going to do it on purpose. I love gobies. My baby boy Steenfott surifus. Surifus? All right, red light robot. We're going to look this one up. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Orange right here. Not too bad. I wish I had access to a larger supply of gobies. Can you have pygmy cories with fluval stratum? Of course. Of course. Okay, I need to go get something to drink because I started early. I didn't get my drinks ready. I'm going to go get something to drink, take a break, and I'll be right back. Hot mic. Okay. Can you recommend any good lights for plant growth? I've heard that Phoenix Stingray might be good. Phoenix Stingray is no music. Oh yeah. That was no music. It's better when you can hear the music, but dancing anyway. So Phoenix Stingray would be good for like low to medium light plants. When you have fry, do you keep the lights on all the time or turn them off normally? It kind of depends. Most of the time when I have fry, I don't change my light cycle at all. At all. My dwarf Sag is in sand, capped dirted tank, and is going nuts. Yeah, really, dirted tanks. When I do my 300-gallon tank, it's going to be dirted, and hope to do a lot of experimenting with it. And I think it's going to be really cool. I'm basically, so what I'm doing in my 300-gallon, I'm going to dirt it. I don't know what I'm going to cap it with, either sand or gravel. I haven't decided yet, or both. But I want to do like every single type of like long skinny plant you can find. So like jungle val, crypspiralis, all that type of plants, Sagittaria. I just want to get it all and just mix it in there and let it all grow nuts and grow together. And it's either going to be really lame or really cool. So we'll see how that works, but that's the plan. And then like some big pieces of driftwood in there as well, but not too much hardscape. I probably won't do any rocks, and just have like pieces of driftwood with all these like long flowing plants in it, and hopefully it'll work out all right. Would a 29-gallon with Praecox, rainbows, rams, angels, and hatchetfish work? That seems like a really small tank for all those fish. If you did it all that without the angels, then that would work. Eric, welcome to the Dream Team. I'm going to say for the Dream Team here, we're going to have our first Dream Team live stream Thursday morning. So keep that in mind. Don't use a stingray on a low light, 20 long. They are too bright. The fish will need shades. I haven't played with stingray lights in a really long time. I want to try the Stingray 2. I think it just came out, and see how well it does. The last Phoenix light I bought, I can't even remember. It's been a long time since I've been a Phoenix person, but I think I'm to the point where I'd like to give them another try. Pleco Guy TM says, I've been doing dirted tanks for 12 years. Father Fish is actually my local fish store. If you're going to do it sand, don't do... Wait. If you're going to do sand, don't do play sand. Want it will compact... Well, yeah, I would never use play sand, ever. I hate play sand. I would never recommend it, and I certainly would never use play sand at all. I love my sand blasting sand. My lapis luster sand is so amazing. It's perfect for corridoras. Yeah, it's by far the best sand in the world, by far. Dirted tank is going to be really cool. I think so. It's going to be a fun experiment. So it's going to be, obviously it's for my puffer. So it'll be my Babu puffer. And then I need to find a good home for my Bala shark. But anyways, that's a whole different story. But yeah, so it's gonna be my Babu puffer, and I'm hoping a few hundred lemon tetras, and then just all those like grass type plants. Should be awesome. Dwarf Sag in Malaysia is pretty expensive. Any other options? If you can get chainsword is about the same size. There's also micro chainsword if you want really small. But chainsword is kind of a smaller carpeting sword plant. Really appreciate all that you do. Any tips on growing bows, mani, fry any faster? Feed as many times per day as you can and daily water changes. That's the secret. I just bought some fish from Dan's Fish. I hope they look like Googled pics. I don't know. Jeffrey, let me look. I'm going to Google it right now. What is... Oh, the goby? So the thing to keep in mind with gobies is it's usually the males that color up like that, right? And then also size. So if they come in and they're not colored up like that now, they probably got to put some meat on their bones and grow a little bit. But they should definitely look... Well, I'm not going to say that they should look like their Google pics because some gobies do not color up if they're not like in the absolute perfect environment. I use the Stingray 2 on the 20 long. I switch it with a lower output. Beams works. Well, that's encouraging. I do like really bright light, so I would much rather have more light than I need than not enough. Although, let's be real, a 20 long doesn't take a lot of light, so yeah. Steenfott Aquatics, I hate fluorite. My guppies hate stratum, low pH. What do you use or suggest? So honestly, river rock, like just the little river rock pebbles. Not a lot of places carry them, but some landscape yards do. That and lapis luster sand is by far my favorite. If we're talking about like planted aquarium substrates, Eco Complete is by far my favorite. By far. It took a week before we realized it was a he, and he displayed a bright orange with the gold stripe. Trish KCMO says, good night, everyone. 4 a.m. comes quick. You got that right. Too quick. All that gold and green is going to look great. What are we at? Boy, we need to make 30 likes in 20 minutes. I don't know if that's possible, but don't forget to like the live stream. How is that beams work light with your planted tank? I know you're asking him, but I've used lots of beams work lights myself and find them to be a bit power hungry, but definitely do well with plants. Kaylor's Aquatic says, good night, friends. Good night, Bob. Kaylor, thank you for the super chat. Always appreciated. It took about a week before I realized, oh, I just read that one. Any care tips for the blue tetras? So again, this is a fish that I've never kept, but I wouldn't keep it any different than any other tetra. I haven't heard them being difficult to keep, more difficult to breed, but as far as just keeping them, I would just keep them in standard tropical parameters. 7 pH, 78 degrees should be just fine. Megan Peterson with the $3 super chat says, EBA, I'm going to assume electric blue Acara, but if that's not right, you'll have to correct me. Keep lights on with parents or use regular. What do you mean? Regular? Reg? Megan, I'm confused. It's not hard to do, but I am confused. Electric blue Acara, if it was me, I would remove them from the parents and then just do a normal light cycle. But lights on with parents or use reg. I'm confused about that last part, though. Melissa L says, I have beams works on a 55-gallon and plants are doing well. All right. Any tips for growing Lagwidia? Well, it depends on what species. Some are really easy to grow and some want high light and fertilizers. Mine looked great for the first 2 months and they were growing, but now all the bottom leaves are falling off, only have leaves left on the top quarter. So generally, if the bottom stems are bare, that means not enough light. Or not enough fertilizer. But a lot of times it's light. Especially with stem plants is they'll grow like crazy. They'll grow all the way to the top. But when they do that, it blocks out all the light below them. And so then all the leaves below them will start dying off because the sun is blocked out, or the light, whatever, so that could be what's happening there, is they're blocking out all the light. Have you thought about doing a mystery snail breeding tank for your puffer? So I have bred mystery snails, and it was, I didn't do it correctly. I bred them correctly, being I didn't have like a tank set up specifically to breed them. They were just breeding in a tank, which means like I had places where mystery snails can crawl out, and they would crawl out and lay their eggs on the outside of the tank, or I'd find them like on the stand. I'd find dead mystery snails on the floor because I didn't go back in the tank. So if I did it again, I would definitely make sure that there's no places for them to crawl out. But the problem is you can get overrun with mystery snails really fast, even with breeding them or feeding them to a puffer. So it's not something I wouldn't do, and it's just like I don't have the extra tank space currently to dedicate a tank to breeding them. But I think it would definitely be beneficial in the long run, especially like how much money you would save buying clams. Collins Critter Cave says, any thoughts or opinions on the cheap $30-ish Aquarium plant clip-on LED light? I've never even seen it, so sorry, my friend, I've got no input for you. My favorite clip-on light by far is the Phoenix Planet Plus clip-on light. Granted, it's about $50, but I mean, it's such a good light. It's a light that they haven't changed forever because it's so good. It doesn't need to be changed. So one of the only Phoenix products that I still like as far as lighting. I did get their really small, super small nano hang-on back filter. I really love that thing. But as far as lights go, yeah, that clip-on Planet Plus light, that thing is worth it, definitely. Any carpeting plans for medium to bright light, because I want to invest in a good light. So any carpeting plant is just going to do better in high light. So also, the higher the light, the smaller the plant will be, because it doesn't have to grow as tall to get to the light. So there's so many awesome carpeting plants. Micro chainsword is one of my favorite. Dwarf hairgrass is really awesome. But yeah, they'll all do well. The more light, the better. But they'll still do well in low light. I would try dialing up CO2 inserts before you... Okay, talking to someone else. Ram's horn and my Malaysian trumpets work best for my group of 5 Amazon puffers. Really? Malaysian trumpet snails? They're not too hard? Do celestial pearl danios do good in community tanks? I don't think so. They're a super shy fish, but a lot of people keep them in community tanks. But just know that they can be super shy. If I was going to breed endlers, what kind would you want? I don't really keep up with endlers. I really like my Santa Maria endlers, and I really like my tiger endlers. And if I can only keep one, I would probably keep the rainbow tiger endlers. Probably my favorite endler. Any info on when Corey will get some Fluval digital heaters? I've been looking and can't find anywhere. As far as I know, that's an issue with Fluval. I mean, there's a reason you can't get them anywhere, because Fluval is not a very good company when it comes to supply chain. They're always out of stock, all the time, always. It's like, I don't know if they just don't care about making money. I don't know what their deal is, but yeah, I just know that they have a very hard time keeping inventory, and I don't know why. There's no shortages because other companies have no problem keeping inventory. It's just Fluval. Who's ever in charge over there needs to not be in charge anymore. I guess. I don't know. And as far as when the co-op's going to get them, I have no idea. I don't get involved in their business at all. CPDs are awesome when you keep them in a large group. They stop being shy. So there you go. I guess the magic with CPDs is get a lot of them. Large school of them. I just won some El Tiger Endlers last week on Dan's Fish Giveaway. El Tigre. Fluval be tripping. They're not even tripping at this point. They're just dumb. And they have really cool products, But like, it doesn't matter how cool they are if you're not gonna make them and sell them. Anyone replace the Oase in-filter heater with a higher quality one? That's I've never used anything with that brand, so definitely not me. Definitely not me. Zen Ginger, congratulations. Those are beautiful. I've thought about selling, like, I know a lot of people like their endlers like a specific strain, but for me, I've thought about selling like a variety pack of endlers, and I don't know how well that would go over, but it would be so much easier to sell them that way in my current setup. And I don't know, like, You can buy variety pack cherry shrimps, all different colors, the Skittle packs they call them. You can buy variety, like not necessarily variety packs. They call them like the mutt guppies, which is basically a variety pack. And I was thinking about doing that with Endlers, but I don't know. We'll see. Red light. I have some Harlequin Rasboras, Brilliant Rasboras, and Cherry Barbs in the same tank. That's a heel stream watch. How do you stop neurites from crawling out? You gotta put a top on them. That's the only way. There's no magic formula or something. You just gotta have a top. That's it. Dang, I thought those were good. Any chance on so they're like they are good. Fluval makes good products. All right, their heaters are good. I have a lot of them and I've never had issues with them. Their lights are good, but like I said, they just for whatever reason feel like, probably because there's enough suckers out there paying full price for FX6s. They're like, we're making so much money on this. We don't need it. We can just sit back in our thrones and count our money from all these suckers paying full price for FX6s. The most overpriced piece of equipment in the hobby. But, you know, Fluval, if you want to sponsor my live streams, send me an email, steenfottaquatics@gmail.com. you can't get press like this anywhere else, man. I'm telling you. How do you tell the difference in mutt endlers and wild guppy reverts? Mine look pretty identical. I'm not the person to ask. I'm not. I mean, sometimes I see guppies being sold and I'm like, those look like endlers. And then sometimes I see endlers being sold and I'm like, those look like guppies. And I realize they're the same thing, but oops. Oh, never mind. All endlers are variety pack. They just give them names and make it sell better. That's the thing. Like, I would love to sell a variety pack for just cheap, just to get rid of them. And I think, see, like, because I want to throw. So right now I have Rainbow Tiger endlers. I have lime green endlers, lime green, and I have the Santa Maria endlers, and I really want to throw them all in one tank just to see what happens. Like, I get it, maybe like in 10 generations down they might all just be regular silver brown fish like wild caught, but you might get something cool in the meantime. I don't know. T-Shot says, any tips on capping off existing Eco Complete with black blasting sand? Tank is 4 months old. Could I cause ammonia pockets or any harm to the fish or water quality? Well, why would you cap it though? I guess, is the substrate just not deep enough? I don't see any issues with capping it. A lot of people do. I don't know why. Or if you just like the look of sand better, I guess that could be it. But it's really not going to cause any issues. Glass City Fish Witch says, CPD do finding community tanks in a large number. I have 20 in my tank and they're out all the time. All right. So now I think we can comfortably say big school, large school. Those El Tigre look like cat eyes staring back at you. A flock would look incredibly interesting. Now you're going to make me Google them. Oh, those are pretty neat. Here, you guys can look at them too. There you go. Or I can't click on that. I gotta click on that. I mean, that's definitely a cool looking endler, for sure. Endler guppy hybrids can turn out some stunning patterns and colors. Yes, I started my mutt guppy tank. And I haven't even checked to see if I got any fry yet. There's just tons of guppy grass. I assume I have fry. And I don't even know what all guppies I threw in there. I know there's black Moscow guppies in there. There's snow white guppies in there. There's sunset. There's red Moscow. There's some females of various species. I don't know what they're going to look like, but it should be fun. I love my mutt endlers. The variety is awesome. See, that's what I'm thinking. I think it would be pretty fun. I think it'd be pretty cool. So I might sell variety packs. I don't know. 248 likes, 250 watching. So just need 2 more likes, folks. Just 2 more likes. And Scott covers it. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so now. Thank you, everyone, for the thumbs ups. Chevy Fish says it's their nature to crawl out. The only thing is to have a tight lid that covers the total top and any spaces. Yep. That's true with any snail. You can't really just stop them from crawling out. I always like ASAP, whether live stream or not. I always like ASAP. Okay. Gotta run, subscribe. See you guys next time. Great show. Red Light Robot, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. I've got a Mutt Endlers tank, very prolific group. See, okay, I'm gonna do it. That's it. I'm gonna sell mix variety pack and see what happens. If no one buys it, doesn't matter. I still have them. I have them regardless. So if no one wants to buy it, then no one has to buy it. How to trim Java fern. Some leaves are browning. Pull all dying leaves. Just yank them off. It's that easy. But there is like a section above the tank, which is like a place to put stuff on. I mean, you got to figure out a way to cover it. I've even used packing tape. So like this clear tape. I've even used like this stuff to cover holes in my tanks. You got to do what you got to do. Whatever works. Rach says, I willing. Okay. I find snails in my hang-on backs. Yes, and when I ran canister filters, they always snuck in there too. It's always nice to throw in new genes, even to a mutt tank, so I guarantee people will buy them. Well, when do you think you'll start selling the mixed packs? Probably here in the next week or two. I'm really concentrating on finalizing some new setups and some new builds. So that's kind of taking priority over anything. But hopefully, if not this week, then definitely next week. Otherwise, I'm not going to have time to ship fish anyways before the holiday closure. Do a rare species close to extinction stream. Oh man, that'd be really hard because there's a lot of fish that are extinct in the wild that are in the hobby. There's a lot of endangered fish in the hobby that are, you know, like everywhere. So it's really tough. It's really tough. I guess it would depend on like what classifies as close to extinction, like not in the hobby and almost extinct. Or if it is in the hobby and extinct, do we not count that? I don't know. Will cherry shrimp eat fish eggs? Oh, yeah. Yep. I ordered Scarlet Temple from Co-op. The leaves are melting, which is normal. Should I cut it back or just leave it? For Scarlet Temple, what would I do with Scarlet? I would let it do natural. I would not. So, like, with Crips, I cut up all the leaves. With stem plants, I would wait for it to do its thing. Let the leaves fall off, and then let it grow back. I want the endlers. Will they be males and females? Yeah. So if I do the variety packs, it'll be both males and females because I don't want to get stuck with like 1,000 females and no males or vice versa. So I don't know if I'll do 1-to-1. I don't know. Currently, I usually sell them like either 1-to-1 or 2 males to 4 females, which is like one of the best. You know, that's a really good ratio if people want to breed. But since they're mutt or a variety pack, I'll probably just keep it 1-to-1, and then I have to decide like how many, like 6, 8, 10. I'm not sure, or maybe I could just make that an option. Collins Critter Cave with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Josh's World says, I'm going to go watch the co-op now. Bye. See you later. Do floaters help in neorites coming out? I find that not to be true. Specifically to neorites, I don't know. But snails in general, floating plants, not going to stop them. Yeah, I see ram's horn pond snails, mystery snails bust right through floating plants. They know there's more on the other side. IUCN Red List can be used for finding species in danger. Yeah, but see, it's like the same thing. Like Bosemani rainbows are listed in endangered, but there's billions of them in the hobby. So I don't think the IUCN Red List, like, that's just for nature, like what's out in the wild. So where do you draw the line? When the plants start growing new leaves, there you go. Cooley Kev, what's up, buddy? Suggestions for best meds for substrate scratching. Usually that means parasites. In my experience, if they're flashing on the substrate, that means parasites. So you need something to treat parasites. And honestly, for flashing, I would just use the 3-med trio and just be done with it. Josh's World says, good night, Candy. Although he probably wasn't singing it. Oh, man. It's Reese says, I appreciate all your help and advice. Well, thanks, buddy. Thank you, Chevy Fish. I think my tank is almost ready now for fish. I think I'll wait 2 more weeks. Patience. It's good to see patience in the hobby. Even though you think it's ready, you're still going to wait. That's really good. Really good. All right, guys. I think it is time to come to an end. Yep, 7:02. It's dinner time. And we're going to go here. Any last minute questions, thoughts, or concerns before I close this out? Do you have to take Cory eggs out of the tank to hatch them? Not necessarily. Then can I move them into a breeder box without changing tanks? So to get the highest yield, you'll want to remove the eggs. If you're not too worried about it and you're like colony breeding, then you can just keep them in there. But either way, whichever you decide to do will work. If you want more, take them out. Take them out. All right, that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We got to thank Andrew, Pleasantly Planted Waters, Furloughs Aquatics, and Eric for becoming members. I appreciate it. And then Curtis St. Martin, Rach, Multi-High, Jacker, UPS for Living the Dream, Fish Tank Barn. Uh-oh, did I miss that one? Fish Tank Barn. If I missed that, I apologize, buddy. Christine, Aqua Discovery, Curtis St. Martin, Thin. I just butchered that name. Sorry. Fishroom Fever, Kaylor's Aquatics, Megan Peterson, Tracy Walker, Collins, Critter Caves. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it. And thank you all mods. And most importantly, thank you all subscribers. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do. I'd appreciate it. And to all the lurkers, obviously you guys are important too, even though you don't say anything. You should. You should come out in hiding every once in a while. Say something. But I'll see some of you Thursday morning, and the rest of you, Jamie McDonald, it's almost time, buddy. You're about a week away from the 2-year anniversary. But anyways, I'll see some of you on Thursday morning, and the rest I'll see you next Monday evening for some more fun.